Welcome back everybody to CR Garage. Today we are going to be working on the Nissan Sentra. We're going to be changing out the brake rotors. They are done. When I'm hitting the brakes, I get a really bad wobble. So we're going to be changing those out. Shouldn't be too hard. I'm going to jack up the car and get everything done. Let's get to it. Let's go ahead and jack up the car. Probably should invest in impact, but not yet. Okay, so now what we need is a 14mm socket and a 19mm socket. That's what's you're gonna use to take off the actual rotor. I mean the caliper. We have to remove the caliper first. And if you look on the back side of this caliper, let's take you down there. See if we can get laying down here. Sorry about this. All right, on the back side, gonna see, let's go right here. Okay, so we got this right here is the 14. That's gonna you're gonna be able to pull up the caliper, take out the pads, and then on the underside here, all right behind, see right here, this is a 19. We're gonna have to remove that one. And then there's another one on the top side. You can see it right. Where am I? Right there. See if we can get a light on there. Right there. See that one right there. So we're gonna remove that one and the one on the underside there. So let's go ahead and take both of those off. Remove the brakes, and then we can hit the let's remove the brakes. Pads. Once we remove the brake pads, we can hit the we can hit up the rotor. So let's take off the pads now. 14mm. Pull that out of the way. Let's just remove our brake pads. Get these put to the side. Alright. So now we want to remove the actual rotor. We want to remove the whole caliper in order to get the rotor out. So now we're going to use the 19mm in order to get this out. So let's switch up to the 19. Get that plugged in. Let's see if we can get this out. This one might be a little tougher because it's on there more, but came off pretty easy. This one. See if we can get the top one that easy. came loose. Be careful here. Once you get it out, you want to hold the caliper because we don't want to pull the brake line out. Alright, so I'm going to set this to the side here so it don't fall. Then we can remove the rotor. I got things on there, but we got the rotor off now. So this rotor is warped, and what's happening is when I hit the brakes, it's just vibrations everywhere. So let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Just put a bucket under there. Now, spray this up. Let that drip out. Okay, so now we got the new rotor. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to put the new rotor in. This goes. Slip that on. We're going to put the center piece back on. Now, most of you won't have this. This is because I have aftermarket wheels and they need centering. So alright, so now we got that off. I'm gonna grab our thing here, put that, line that back up. We'll put our top bolts back in. Tighten that down. Grab our lower bolt. Put this back in. So we can tighten them back up. Got that back on. Now we put our pads back in. Let's get our pads back on. Flip this up here. Get that out of the way. Gonna put our pads back in. So we're gonna have to compress the caliper just a little bit in order for it to clear, to come down, because right now it just won't, you can see it won't clear. It's hitting. So we're gonna have to compress this in. So let's do that now. Okay, so in order to compress the caliper, first thing we need to do is we're gonna take off on the brake fluid. We're gonna remove the cap, set it to the side. I don't know if you can see that, but set the cap to the side. I put down a little rag around the reservoir here, just because when you compress there, you may get liquid pouring out of the reservoir. So we take, I just got this little bar, but whatever you can use, just go here with it. Get yourself a C-clamp and open it up. We're going to compress that. Now, I use the back side of the caliper, but you got to be careful you don't pinch any hoses back there or anything. So I just kind of wedge it in here. Open this up. Get that wedged in right there and just close it up. And it'll compress the cylinder. Again, make sure you're not pinching any hoses or anything on the back side. And nope. Just go a little more. Doesn't need to compress much. That should be good. Let's see if we clear. Perfect. We cleared now. Tighten this back on. Our lower bolt here on the caliper. And we're good to go. Caliper's on. We press the brakes. That'll compress back. So we gotta pump our brakes once we get back in the car. But you can see everything's on. Rotor's on. Caliper's back on. No leaks, no nothing. So we're good to go. Let's go ahead and we're gonna do the other one now. Put the wheel back on this, and we're set here. So now we're going to be working on this side. We're going to do the same thing. There we go, jack up the car, find our jack point. take our wheel off. Out of the way. Let's go ahead and we're gonna take off our brake pads again. Then lefty loosey. Our brake pads off. Now we're going to take off the rotor, screws for the rotor, for the bolts. That broke off pretty easy. Not bad. They both came off pretty easy. Hold this up here. Take this one out. Put a little bucket down so we can clean this off. Drip out. While I go get the new rotor. Alright. Got the new rotor. I'll put this on. Put our new rotor on. There we go. Let's tap that in. All right. Tap that on. That ain't going nowhere now. So now we're going to put our top bolt back in. If you want to clean it, you can, but let's go with our, flip this bad boy around. Put our lower bolt back in. Pull those up. I don't want to see that. Alright. So those two are done. Bolted back in. Let's compress our caliper here. Let's set that there. Try to get that just around right there. We can compress that. That to the side, put our brake pads back on. That's one. Let's get the other back on here. And our caliper should just what's the matter? There we go. Okay, so now we should slide. Perfect. And put our last bolt in. Tighten this up. And we're done. All set. So that was changing the rotors. Pretty simple. It's literally 1, 2 bolts, 3 bolts, and the brake pads. And that's it. You're all set. Once you did this, now the car should ride, no vibration, and we should be good. And that's about all I got for today. I do have some other videos that I'm going to be filming tonight, and I'll put those together. I'm going to be changing out the radiator. I have a radiator leak, so I'm going to be changing that out. But for now, this video is done. Like, share, subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.